Welcome to PCE Upper Int Module B, Day 3. First word of the day is largely. Largely means mainly or for the most part. It's an adverb. How many syllables are in largely? 2 syllables, stress on the first. Largely. This is largely your fault. Second word, behavior. So we see the American spelling and the British spelling, both are okay. It's how you act. It's a noun. How many syllables are in behavior? 3, stress on the second syllable. Behavior. Please be on your best behavior. And then we also have behavioral. British and American spelling. It's an adjective. How many syllables are in behavioral? 4, stress is still on the second. Behavioral. You will have to make several behavioral changes. Alright, next word we have is relaxation. Relaxation is simply to be relaxed, not stressed. This is a noun, uncountable. How many syllables? Relaxation. There are 4 syllables, stress is on the third. Relaxation. I can't wait for some rest and relaxation. So then we also have relax, which means to get rid of stress. This is a verb. How many syllables? Relax. 2, stress in the second. Relax. Everything will be okay, just relax. Alright, and finally we have relaxing. Something that relaxes you. It's an adjective. How many syllables? 3, stress is on the second. Relaxing. We listen to relaxing music all night. Okay, next one we have is contain. Contain means to hold something in, and it's a verb. How many syllables are in contain? 2, stress on the second. Contain. He couldn't contain his excitement. Then we also have container, which is something used to contain something else, like a jar. It's a noun, countable noun. How many syllables are in container? 3, stress on the second. Container. I put the fruit in a container. Fifth word of the day is except. Everything but this. It's a preposition or a conjunction. How many syllables are in except? 2, stress in the second. Except. I have been to every country in Asia except Mongolia. Number 6 is identify. It's find out who somebody is or what happened. It's a verb. How many syllables are in identify? 4, stress in the second. Identify. The police asked him to identify the criminal. So then we have identity. It's who somebody is. It's a countable noun. How many syllables? Identity. 4, stress in the second. Identity. Batman has a secret identity. Finally, we have identification, which is an official document that tells others who you are. So like a driver's license or passport. Countable noun. How many syllables? Identification. 6, stresses on the 5th syllable. Identification. If you want to buy alcohol, you need some identification. 7th word is sequence. Sequence is the order and time that something happened. It's a noun. How many syllables are in sequence? 2, stress on the first. Sequence. You had to put the numbers in the right sequence. So then we also have sequential. Same meaning, but this is an adjective. How many syllables are in sequential? 3, stresses on the second. Sequential. Please give me the sequential order that it happened. 8th word is working. Working just means doing work. It's an adjective. 2 syllables, stresses on the first. Working. Working mothers are becoming more common in the West. Number 9 is barely. Barely means by the slightest amount, the smallest amount, almost not, almost nothing. It's an adverb. How many syllables? Barely. 2, stress is on the first. Barely. Why is he crying? I barely touched him. Number 10, fund. Fund is the amount of money saved, collected, or provided for a special or particular purpose. So we're looking at the verb or the noun. One syllable, fund. The government funds a lot of social projects. So in this one, the verb, right? And it's saying the government pays for. For number 11, we have technique, which is a skillful way of doing something, or how you do something. It's a noun, countable. How many syllables are in technique? 2, stress on the second. Technique. Yoga is a very effective technique for dealing with stress. Last word, system. System is the way something operates or works. It's a noun. 2 syllables, stress on the first. System. You are so organized. What's your system? Then we also have systematic, which is to do something in a careful or organized way. So system is more of a neutral word. Systematic is a little bit more positive. It's a little bit more descriptive. And it's an adjective. How many syllables? Systematic. 4, stress on the third. Systematic. He tried a very systematic approach to the problem. Finally, systematically. Same meaning, but it's an adverb. How many syllables? 5. Stress is still on the 4th syllable. Systematically. You should approach your studies systematically. Sentence number 1. Working mothers can barely balance their responsibilities. Working mothers can barely balance their responsibilities. Sentence 2. We need to identify the best technique. We need to identify the best technique. Sentence 3. It is the role of industry to identify opportunity. It is the role of industry to identify opportunity.